All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Yay. It's Thursday morning, virtual coffee day. Um, Today's speaker is an agent that I've known for, I don't know, a year or two now. And he is a rock star. I am watching all of the things that he's doing, the videos that he's posting. He is closing deal after deal after deal. And when I was like, let's have you on and talk about what you're doing. And when he told me his story, it was remarkable. And I thought, okay, this is something that everyone is going to want to know. How did you do this? And so, Jacob, um, I'm just going to turn the floor over to you. Tell people who you are, where you are, do that normal introduction, and then get right into that really cool hook you have from $30 to $30 million. We all want to know.
Yeah. Well, first, thank you so much for hosting this. Obviously, I think we all here could agree that it's amazing that you put this all together for us every week. And also, thank you to everybody who joined the call. I know real estate agents were all busy, especially with rates dropping. The end of the week is coming up, so we're all rushing to schedule our showings. So just thank you everybody for being here, especially Debbie for putting this all together. But yeah, I think everybody saw the headline from $30.56 to 30 million. And unfortunately, I'm not worth $30 million. But at one point, my net worth, I guess it was technically negative because, student debt and all of that. But yeah, about a year and a half ago, I have a screenshot. I think I put it in my presentation. And the reason it's so specific at $30.56 is because like that was literally the dollar amount in my bank account. And that was a year and a half ago. That was after a business that the business worked, but the business didn't make money. So I guess technically it didn't work. So it's just been absolutely crazy. And Debbie, am I allowed to curse on this? I'll try to keep it clean.
Yeah, yeah. PG-13. How's that?
Okay, I'll spell it. So basically, my really quick life story. In 2020, well, first I went to college. Went to college for a semester for marketing and advertising, and I realized pretty quickly that I didn't want to build my entire life marketing and advertising something for somebody else to give them all of the glory for it. So basically, like my plan was like, okay, cool. I'm an athlete. I'll go to college. I'll work at Nike. I'll market and advertise their stuff, and I'll love it. I realized after one semester that I don't think that would be the perfect life for me. So in the back of all of my classes, I was watching real estate videos. I think we could all relate to watching Selling Sunset or any of the new shows. And you look at it and oh wow, every real estate agent in the world is super rich and they just walk around and make money. So I was like, oh, this sounds like a perfect life. That sounds easy enough. So I dropped out of college, got my real estate license after watching a million videos online, and then the reality set in. It's not as easy as it looks, as we all know. In my first 6 months, I made $1,200 from one sale. And then it took about another 5 months to close another deal after that. So was off to a very hot start. And then, long story short, I really got into cold calling. And I know we've had a bunch of people on here talk about cold calling and cold outreach. But that's really how I got my start. I went to my MLS, I went to the tax pages, then I went in and I was able to pull phone numbers and I just grinded away and cold called my way to. Now I wasn't the top agent in the state, but in that local market that I was in, I was the top listing agent my second year in the business. Now, of course, had a little bit of tailwinds from COVID and all that craziness, so that definitely helped. But after that second year, I thought, oh, I'm the best at everything. If I could do real estate, I could do anything in the world. So I moved across the state to Pittsburgh. I'm from the Poconos in Pennsylvania. I moved 5 hours away to Pittsburgh. And like I said before, which resulted in having $30 to my name, I started a business. And the business I started, it was basically a lead generation, like buy into lead gen for realtors. And I got it to work. I was able to generate leads and agents had listings and everything, but the finance side on the back end, it didn't make sense. It was $250 a month. And every new person, every new agent that joined, I was spending about 500 to produce those leads for them. So long story short, I found out how to generate leads online, but I wasn't able to make money off it because I was underselling myself. And I'm, one of the, I don't know if I'm, maybe not the smartest person in the room, but I'm the type of person to basically just keep running into the wall until I figure something out. And unfortunately, with that, I just continued to run into the wall, and it resulted. Now, Debbie, you said I could curse, so it resulted in me walking dogs on Wag, which is like a dog walking app, and literally picking up their shit to pay my bills. Like I remember the one time I went. Now again, going from the Poconos where I was, the top agent in my market. Everybody knows here, top agents in their market make a lot of money. You make really good money. I again moved to Pittsburgh. I was in the sky rise, the best apartment in the city, the rooftop pool, the basketball court, all the good stuff. And then by the end of that year and a half lease, 2 year lease, I was walking around picking up dog shit. And the reason I say that is because I know, there's a lot of new agents in this group chat or in this group call. And you're, driving Uber, or you're doing DoorDash on the side, or even more experienced agents doing that same thing because it really hasn't clicked yet. But the reason I tell that story is because I 100% relate to you. And the reason that I didn't do DoorDash or Uber was because my car was a piece of crap. And I figured, if I could walk these dogs, I'd be in better shape. Um, so long story short, after I, went under in Pittsburgh, I moved back across the state to Philadelphia, and I got back into selling Pocono real estate. And when that happened, currently right now, I'm ranked #1 in the state with my brokerage. I'm with EXP. Don't come at me. I'm not trying to recruit you. I'm with EXP though. Out of about 2,000 agents in the state, I'm currently ranked #1 for total sales volume in 2025, which is a completely different world from where I came from just literally, a year and a half ago. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But wanted to basically tell the story that I, I didn't, my family's not in real estate. I didn't come from the background with all of that. I figured it out my first time, and I figured out how to sell real estate. And then I moved to Pittsburgh. I literally went to almost zero. I had 30 bucks. And then I, moved to Pittsburgh, or moved back to Philly, and I rebuilt the entire business. Alongside of that, as everybody can see on my shirt, we're building out Referral Mate too. So that's something we'll get to later on. But on this call, I, get tired of talking about myself, but I really wanted to give actionable steps today for everybody that you could use in your business, and not just the fluff of, go cold call, or the fluff of, jump in on Zillow leads and start paying for them. I have a presentation for everybody, and I'm going to run through all of the things that I did that cost no money, literally cost absolutely nothing, that resulted in me being the top agent in the state. Now, little disclaimer, one of the things, if you decide to do it, will cost about $60. So, 6 free things and one thing that will cost you $60. And all of these things combined resulted in, like, I don't pay for leads. I don't pay Zillow. I don't pay Realtor.com. I don't pay anything for leads. It's all organic. And I'm going to walk you through, Debbie, if it's okay with you, walk everybody through all of the steps that I do that cost nothing, that resulted in all of this. So, Debbie, is that green light on that?
Yep, go for it, buddy.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so really quick intro. Again, $30.56 to 30 million. That 30 million is basically the listing volume and sales volume by the end of 2025, from closed deals to pending deals and future deals that already have, under contract or listing agreement signed. So that's where that $30 million comes from. The reason I use that is because it looks great in the headline, but disclaimer, unfortunately, I'm not worth that much money. So moving on really quickly, this is the quick outline of my story. 2020, dropped out of college, started selling real estate. 21, started to lead the market. 22, moved to Pittsburgh. 23, picking up after dogs. 24, moved back to Philadelphia. And then now 2025, I again am the top listing agent, or top agent in the brokerage based on sales volume. And I don't say that to, sound amazing or incredible, but all these next slides, you're going to see how I did it. And luckily, you're able to start it literally today for free. And these will cost nothing except for one of them. That's about $60. So moving on here, this is the really quick outline of all the things I'm going to go through. One of the main things I do is I advertise all of my clients, and I have a whole presentation, a whole slide on how we're going to do that. Next, I call it my investor strategy, how I connect with investors that are buying apartment buildings. I've really shifted my focus on those high end investors because if it takes the same amount of effort and the same amount of stress to sell a $100,000 single family compared to a $2 million apartment building, I pick the apartment building every single time. So that's my investor strategy. How I reach out to my past clients to get business from them, flyers, Facebook videos, a content calendar, and then again, Referral Mate. So again, I like to lead with proof. These are most of listings that I've had, except for this one right here. That's not a listing, that's a buyer that I got, but again, from this strategy. So these are all deals that I've closed, not all of them, but a lot of deals I've closed in the last 12 months, and it all, again, came from these strategies. So let me move this here. Sorry about that. So the first thing that I do that a lot of agents don't do is I advertise all of my clients in local Facebook groups. Now, a lot of the times agents will only advertise, as we all know, when you have a listing. I advertise when I first, was getting back into it. I had renters. I would advertise them. I would jump in Facebook groups and I'd make a post and it would just say, if anybody has an apartment building or an apartment for rent in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, I have a client that can pay $1,500 a month. Who has a building? And then all of the people will comment on that post and they'll say, oh, I have this apartment building. I have that unit for rent. And then that just opens the business for you. It starts connecting you with all of those people. And the same thing with buyers. I put this first because it's been my number one thing for growing my business for free, is just going in Facebook groups and posting about what you have. If you have a buyer that has a $600,000 budget that's looking for a lake house, jump in a Facebook group that's local to you, like for example, Pocono homeowners. Jump in there and say, I have a buyer looking for XYZ in XYZ market. And I'm telling you, this next slide right here, this is the proof that it works. You see this post right here. I have a property in the Poconos projected to do 250,000 through Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. 122 comments of interested buyers. So that's for a listing, but same thing over here. Hey everyone, I have two clients looking to purchase investment properties in the Poconos right here, 38 comments. So again, now I know these aren't groundbreaking things, but these are things you could do right now, today in your business for free. So this has been my bread and butter. I have clients. I just signed a listing contract yesterday from a person that came from these posts maybe, 6 months ago. So this really, really works well for me. And I have a whole lead magnet thing that's, an outline of all of this. So at the end, drop your email in at the end and we will send you the whole outline for it. But this has been absolutely massive for me. And I've literally closed tens of millions of dollars this year from these easy little posts alone. Moving on to number two, I call this my investor strategy. And again, I typically like to work on the listing side. I don't always love working with buyers because from the beginning of getting my license, I always thought you have to list to exist. People don't really know about you if you only have buyers, but if you have listings, they're going to see your signs, they're going to see your for sale post, they're going to see you on Zillow, they're going to see you everywhere. So this is, I don't know, I never saw this anywhere online, but it's something that I use. So maybe it's something that you guys really like. But I call it my investor strategy. It's super, super simple. All you do, you go to Zillow. So again, groundbreaking. You go to Zillow, and then as you know, everybody has a for sale tab, a for rent tab, and then a sold tab. So what you want to do is click on the for rent tab and then go through all of the listings that are for rent and click on literally every single one in your market until you find one that says right here, listed by property owner. That's the owner and that's his phone number. And please actually don't call this one because this is currently one of my clients that's looking for more buildings. And you're not calling these people to rent their unit, or you're not calling these people to bring them a tenant. You're calling them because if they own an apartment building, chances are they own other apartment buildings that they either want to sell or rent to, so you can connect with them on that. But more importantly, the way that I focus on this is if this guy owns, this guy Gabby, he's literally, well, I won't go through my text, but he's literally one of my clients right now. If you message these people and say, hey, I saw you have that property for rent. If I brought you an opportunity in Wilkes-Barre, would you buy it or would you look at it? So you call these people and you offer them the opportunity of more properties. And it's worked really, really well for me. This client alone, we looked at 2 properties so far, hasn't turned into anything, but I do this consistently. And one of my biggest sales was a $1.7 million double-sided apartment building, and it came from this. The owner, I reached out to him because he had a place for rent. I said, hey, I have this off-market property. Would you want to look at it? And these investors, they love the agents that hustle and do the work for them. So this is the easiest way to get in touch with local investors that own these buildings. Filter properties for rent, scroll down until you see listed by property owner, and just call them, introduce yourself, and say, if I bring you an off-market opportunity, would it at least be interesting to you? And if you don't have the off-market opportunities, the easiest way to find them is go to your MLS, scroll down, click on expired listings, filter to multifamily, and then that's your entire list of expired properties. And then, it might take a little bit of legwork to get in touch with the owner, but there you go. You could also present options to them that are on the market. Just bring it to them, and I don't know if I'm crazy, but it's literally worked so, so well for me. Number 3, now this isn't groundbreaking, but it's something that I see all the time that agents talk about, but I don't really know if agents do it that much because I didn't do it until about a year ago. And it's literally just warm outreach. Just go through the list of all of your previous clients, whether you sold them a house or they bought a house with you, if they rented, or if they just came to your open house and you got their contact, just reach out and ask how they're doing. Ask them if they, decided if they want to sell, if they want to buy. Again, not anything crazy here, but the whole concept is what are things we could do for free today to grow your business. And here's an example of a client. Now this is like the perfect example client. This is one of my sellers. His name is Era, and he owns a lot of real estate. I got connected with him because I called, which turned out to be his best friend. I called his best friend that owned apartment buildings. And then the guy liked me. His name is Howard. So Howard connected me with Era, and Era and Howard are best friends. I met Howard through cold calling. The last slide where I was cold calling investors, I called him. We did some business together. He liked me, and then he introduced me to this guy. And this guy I've done maybe 5 deals with so far. I sold a $1.3 million property for him, a $900,000, $600,000 property. So I've sold a bunch for him so far. And then after the last deal closed, I didn't really hear from him for a while. So this was maybe 2 weeks ago. I just texted him and said, hey, any thoughts on listing homes between 800K and a million? Only 12 on the market right now between Whitehaven and Long Pond that are in that range. And his reply was, yes. The blocked out part here is 183 Hillary Drive. I said, is it this one? He said, yes. And as you see here, we're going to go on the market. I asked him if he wanted to go on the market for 800,000, but we're really going to go on for 875,000. So again, this is a piece of business. This is a listing I got that cost me nothing because all that I did was reach out to a previous client that I've done business with before, and it resulted in this. Number 4, now this is the one that does cost a little bit of money. I have the actual exact cost here. So I made these through Canva. And again, drop your email at the end and I'll send you the PDF for this. You can print it out. But if you get 100 of them, it's only $66. And what I did, this was actually one of the best ones because you could literally see here, if you put these on telephone poles, and I know this isn't like the sexiest thing. I know it's not amazing to walk around your town with a staple gun and I had like a little fanny pack to hold them all in. I know it's not super sexy to do this, but again, this one is very low cost ways to grow your business. You could put these in coffee shops. You could put these at the gas station, at the grocery store, and just throw it up there. Really big print. Do you need a realtor? And look at down here. All of these were pool tabs and there's only 2 left. Now it's kind of beat up and got rained on, but again, this resulted in business for a very, very low cost thing. It just required effort. So this, honestly, it's $66 for 100 of them on Canva. I don't know where else you could get that kind of reach for $66. So if you have it, I definitely recommend doing it. And if you don't want to order them through Canva, you can do it a lot cheaper if you just print it at home or print it at Staples. So this was really, really big for me. And again, very, very low cost, if not free. And here is the cost for 100. I just checked before this call. This screenshot is updated. So it's $66 for 100 flyers, and it resulted in me getting business. Right here, number 5, Debbie talked about the videos that I've been posting. I've trying to lean a little bit more into like real estate influencer to, grow Referral Mate. But this is something that has worked extremely well for me is we see online like, Ryan Serhant or the Selling Sunset people, everything is so glamorized and everything looks so incredible. But I've had so much luck by just doing a really short intro outside of a property like, hey, my name is Jacob McLaughlin. Right behind me is a 6-bedroom listing in Lake Harmony. I want you to come check it out with me. And then get out of the way and then let your video person, luckily my wife does it with me. She just does a quick walk through the property. You could use CapCut, you could speed it up, you could slow it down to show the best parts. And I'll show you here, these are all walkthrough videos. And these, when I post these videos, I post them into local Facebook groups. Now, we all love Debbie's group. It's honestly my favorite group on Facebook because it's so big and there's so many opportunities. But there is so much gold in the local Facebook groups. For example, I always use things to do in the Poconos. It's a Facebook group that has like 100,000 people that are local to me, or Pocono neighbors, or Mount Pocono neighbors. All these little groups. I know somebody said that they're in Charlotte. I guarantee there's 500 real estate groups in Charlotte or neighbor groups that you could join today and start like almost manufacturing your views. I don't get these views. I know they're not amazing. Again, that's not a million views. But right here, you have 12,000 views, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 8,000. I've gotten so many clients who reach out to me in Facebook, and it's just from these videos. And the only reason, again, I'm not great on camera. I'm not, we don't have a full cinematic team. We're not Ryan Serhant. It's not $100 million properties. It's just little videos introducing the house and then walking through it. Again, no cost. And if you don't, these are all my listings. But if you don't have these listings, there's agents at your brokerage, agents on your team, agents that you know that you work with. Just send them a text and say, hey, I'm going to show your property today. Do you care if I do a really quick video? And there you go. It's just, this is tens of thousands of views right here from very, very low effort and no cost at all. Number 6 right here, I have something for you guys. It's basically a little outline, and I did a keynote speech in Key West a couple months ago for real estate, and this was my whole presentation was about a content calendar because a lot of the times after these calls or after a seminar, after an event, everybody's hyped up. It's like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to join a Facebook group. I'm going to take a video today. I'm going to reach out to these investors. But after a week or 2 weeks, it kind of dies down and it kind of gets old. It gets boring. Maybe you don't get a client in that time. And then the motivation wears off. So this is a 30-day content calendar. I call it a challenge because it makes it a little bit more fun. But it's basically an outline, and I'll share it with you guys at the end. It's an outline of what to post, when to post, and where to post it to get these kind of views. And I didn't want to use my own stuff because I wanted to lead by proof. So I didn't want to just have all of my stuff on here. I wanted to show you guys that actually works. I don't know if Jackie is in this call, but she's a realtor and she's also down in Charlotte, North Carolina, right around Charlotte. And she followed the content calendar, obviously put a little bit of her own spin on it. But this post right here, 24 likes, 295 comments. And it's just something simple. What's your favorite spot in Lincolnton that is no longer in business? Just little things to get people starting to see you and know you in your market. And you'll see in this content calendar, you start by just the basic conversations. What's a spot you miss in town? And then her next one right here, as you can see from the house, it's a real estate post. So now people start aligning Jackie as the local expert in real estate. This post right here has over 400 likes, over 100 shares. And at the end of the 28 days, so her first month doing this content calendar, that again is free, I'm not going to charge you for it. She has 853,000 views from local people in her local market that now know her as the local realtor. So again, free, super easy to use, and I'm obviously going to give it away for you. I'll give it away to you for free. Now, most importantly, my favorite thing, like I said, when we left Pittsburgh and moved to Philadelphia, I before we left, I had a little idea in my brain, like I wonder if you could make a platform that real estate agents could join and exchange referrals like it's a job board. So basically, my theory was just like Google or Microsoft or Amazon post jobs on Indeed or LinkedIn, and then all the people who want those jobs apply to it. I thought, I wonder if we could build something like that similar for realtors, but with referrals. So that's what referralmate.co is. I'm actually glad we're in this call because I'm sure some of you guys have seen my posts in the group. And of course, the people say spam or scam or any of that. But this is 100% legitimate. I built it with my wife. She's in the other room right now, but she actually dropped out of college. She got accepted into a doctorate program. And she dropped out to build this company with me. Well, I shouldn't say dropped out. She denied her acceptance into a doctorate program to do this with me. But that's at the basic level. It's an agent to agent referral network. It's 100% free. Again, as you can see, the trend here is 100% free. And you could join it for free. You could post referrals or you could apply to referrals. And so far, I have 10,000 agents here, but we're about 9,600 agents in, so not at 10,000 yet, just under 10,000. Over $200 million worth of referrals have been exchanged. And in the last 45 days, over 165 referral opportunities have been posted. And these are in every state across the country: Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Michigan, etc. Every state has opportunities. Honestly, if anybody is in Michigan, I'll stop the call really quick. If anybody's in Michigan right now, go join Referral Mate because 5 referrals got posted yesterday in Michigan. So I'd imagine they'll probably be pretty close to you if there's 5 in the entire state. So if you're a Michigan person, stop listening to me and go apply for those. But yeah, that's Referral Mate. So that's again the free stuff that we have to offer. Referral Mate, 100% free. It costs you nothing to join. It's a massive network of agents, and the entire purpose of it, it's a platform where agents exchange referrals. You could post to them, you could apply to them, whatever you want, but it's referralmate.co, not .com, referralmate.co. I also have a pull tab flyer with the PDF. So if you want these things just sent directly to you rather than chasing them all down, just put your email in the chat, and then I have a list in this call. My wife, she'll copy and paste those, and we'll get you all this stuff. But again, referralmate.co, the pull tab flyers, they've worked. I wouldn't say they're the greatest way to grow your business, but it is a way to grow your business. And when I made it, it took me like a couple hours to make it perfect. So I figured I'll just send everybody a link to customize their own template. It's already outlined, but you could just put your own name, put your own colors, all that stuff. The lead magnet PDF, that's the outline of the Facebook posts when you're talking about the buyers or sellers you have, the advertising. So we have the lead magnet PDF and then also the 30-day content calendar challenge that got Jackie almost 1 million views in 30 or 28 days. So all that for free. If you want it, again, you don't have to. Just drop your email in the chat and we'll make sure we get that to you before the end of the day. But that is everything I have. So let me stop sharing here and then give the floor back to Debbie.
Excellent. Thank you, Jacob. There's some really cool things in there. And some of them are like super basic, but are we doing them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows to call past clients, to touch base with them, to stay top of mind, but are we really doing it? The
Debbie,
the
quick question. I'm trying to stop. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I cut you off. I'm like, again, not very tech savvy. Couldn't figure out how to stop that.
No problem at all. So are we using that pull tab thing was super popular back like 15, 20 years ago, right? You saw them everywhere when you went into the grocery store and that kind of thing. And so it's like common sense, going back to basics, doing the things that you can do super inexpensive to grow your business. Once you grow your business, if you don't want to do it anymore, maybe you got a kid that you want to, have walk around the neighborhood for you. But if you can certainly start buying leads when you have more money in your pocket. But these are all ways that you can do this without spending all that money. Okay, so anyone have any questions for Jake before we go into breakout rooms?
I do. I'm trying to. I clicked on I went to the website and I don't see where I can join, or unless it's territorial.
Jake, you're muted, so
Thank you. Thank you. So that's something we're fixing right now. What you have to do is on the top, it says log in. That should say sign up. So you just tap the login button, put your email, put your information in, and then you'll be good to go.
Excellent. Brenda.
Hi, Jacob. I just wanted you to know that I'm actually part of the referral material. I love it. I like it. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any as yet because a lot of some of the referrals are more middle, like in not in New York. And when it's in New York, it's like upstate, and I don't really do upstate, but like it. I also go and check whenever I see the email. I go and check to see if there's anything I can jump on.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
thank you. And really, really appreciate that. Like I said, I get so many comments all the time that people will say, like, this is fake, this is not real, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, whatever. But speaking of New York, I believe we have one live right now in
yeah,
Rochester. I don't know
yeah.
if
I
that's
saw it already. Yeah, I
okay,
saw it
okay,
yesterday.
yeah. So
Not my
thank you though.
area.
I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Excellent. So Jackie, get Masla or Talha on that Rochester lead. Jackie.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask about the flyers. I love that. The pull tab rather. We cannot post anything on our polls here. We would get fined.
Okay.
So, have you had experience where they've worked in like grocery stores or coffee shops, things like that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So when I posted those, now where I lived, there was a ton of like little local coffee shops. So now let's say you live in, farm country. You might not have as much luck doing that, but living in a city, there's a million coffee shops, there's a million sandwich shops. You just go in, like they usually will have a board there. Your gym also, they usually have like the little board that you put the pins in. So I would always ask like, hey, do you care if I hang this up? But I did the telephone polls. I also did like, I was desperate. I would bring staples for the wooden poles and then tape for the metal poles. So I did all of the polls, but then on top of that, coffee shops, gyms, sandwich shops, all of them, they'll usually won't care at all.
Excellent. Tushar.
Hey, hi, Jacob. It was a really nice session and very informative. I just wanted to ask, like, the results you shown that $30 million a sale or something. Do you believe the offline marketing or the offline, going to offline events and networking that also participated in the same, or it's a completely online that you're talking?
Yeah, so it's 99% online. Like I said, I did the pull tab flyers. They worked. I wouldn't say it, I did 500 of them. I think 500 of them. So wasn't necessarily a grand slam for all of the walking around, but I would say most of my business, if it goes in order, pull tabs would be at the bottom. Maybe it will work better in a smaller town rather than a city, because just the mass number of people, there's so much going on in a city where you don't really notice those things. But if you're in a small town where there's, one coffee shop, you could really make yourself stand out. But most of the business that I've gotten has come directly from Facebook groups and the local Facebook groups too. As we know, Debbie, a lot of people will, throw the post in there like, open house, and they won't put an address or a state or anything. So the massive groups, they're great for networking and everything. But if you're really looking to grow your local network with your own business, you really want to be in those local Facebook groups, because that's, it's been an absolute gold mine for me.
Awesome, awesome. Hats off you, man. Really great results.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's a great point. And so one thing I'll say is that hopefully you guys all know on here, because a lot of you are regulars, and for the first timers, in our Facebook group, we don't allow the hyper local content. So open houses, just listed, just sold, all those types of things. Because we're such a big group and it's international, it just doesn't make sense to have those types of posts. However, Jacob is 100% on point. The Facebook groups, I can't tout them enough. Get in your local Facebook groups and make all of those posts. Open houses, yes, amazing, amazing information. Jose.
Jacob, great presentation. You never used a and not once in your presentation. My my comment is, if we went ahead and signed up to the QR code, do you still want us to put the emails in the chat?
No, you don't. Well, I guess it depends. It's up to you. The QR code is only to join Referral Mate. But if throw your email down there and we'll copy and paste everything so that we are able to get the other things to you, like the PDFs, the outlines, the lead magnet, all that stuff. If you want that, drop your email. But if not, you could feel free to join Referral Mate on the side. And I appreciate the compliment. I definitely have a little bit of stage fright still.
Well, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so you guys, no more hands are up, so I'm going to assume we don't have any additional
I got mine
questions.
up.
Okay, who's
Hey,
that?
this is Kirk Iverson. I'm down in Cabo San Lucas. Quick
Hi,
question.
Kirk.
Love this whole concept. This is my first time. I heard you say this was an international platform, so I'm super stoked about that. But the Referral Mate? My question is, does Referral Mate have an international aspect to it as well?
So we're really, first of all, I'm jealous. It looks like you're maybe on the beach there.
I am.
So very, very jealous of you. So Referral Mate, as of now, though the big chunk of agents is in the US. We have some Canada, we have some Mexico. We actually had, I know we had a Puerto Rico referral before and a few, maybe 3 or 4 in Mexico so far. So it's not necessarily that worldwide scale yet. But
Right?
transparently, that's the goal. We want to be in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Europe. We want to be everywhere. So you might not see very many opportunities now, but as we
And
continue to grow, it'll definitely be there.
And we are totally good with that as we understand the dynamics of that and the challenges. We're just growing our pillars of referral because we're being very strategic. 80% of our business here is by referral, and most of it comes from the States and Canada. And
Yep.
in our market here, which is the closest market to the US market, it's the only market in Mexico with an MLS, like you guys know it. We have a lot of what I call reverse migration, people that came down here 15, 20 years ago that are going back to loved ones, go back, take care of elder parents, things of that nature. And so from that point of view, would love to have this plug-in network to help everybody, not only who's wanting to check out, there's a lot of people that are wanting to check out of the States and Canada for a lot of reasons, but also to go back home to take care of elder parents and or see their grandkids and things of that nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, the benefit of Referral Mate. It's a double-sided marketplace. You could post a referral or you could apply to a referral. And that's honestly, I didn't want to add that into the presentation. I didn't want to add that my favorite thing is referrals because it would sound fluffy and fake, like, oh, the Referral Mate guy talks about referrals. But the closest thing to true passive income in real estate, I would say the side of growing brokerages and the recruiting side of it is referrals. You
Yeah.
just you have a client, you find a good agent for them, and then in 4 months you get that $7,000 paycheck. First of all, you don't remember where it came from, but second of all, the only work you do is find an agent for your client that's a good agent, and then it's completely 100% passive.
Completely agreed.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
I have a quick question. I didn't know how to raise my hand.
Okay.
Um, Jacob, when you had talked about the referral groups, is there specific groups? I mean, because I know there's got to be so many groups and Facebook to choose from. Is there some that are better groups than others to go in?
I'm in all of my local groups. Like what market are you in?
Southern California.
Okay, so for example, you could just go. Let's just say you're in San Diego, if that's your closest city.
Well, Inland Empire, Riverside County, San
Okay.
Bernardino County.
Yeah, so just what I do is now the Poconos they're like a region, similar to Southern California. That's not necessarily a town, it's more of a region of a state. So a lot of the local groups I'm in, it's like, Pocono neighbors or Pocono homeowners, Pocono real estate investors. And you could either use, the town name, for example, Allentown first time buyers or something, and just go through Facebook, type in your city, and then put like all of the keywords behind it, like, San Diego first time home buyers, San Diego neighbors, all of that. And then just try and join as many as you could. I would imagine there's probably 1 million in your market. So Facebook might like block you for a day after you join like 200 of them. But yeah, I would just jump in all of them. And then when you post, a little trick for everybody, if you make a post to your own personal Facebook page first and you click share, on the share button, there's a little tab there that says groups. If you tap groups, you can post at 10 groups at a time. So it really cuts your time down. Make a post on your own page, click share, click groups, and then you could hit all 10 at the same time, and then redo that until you hit all of your groups.
Great, great
Thank you.
tip. Okay, so we're gonna go to Natalie and let her ask a question.
How you doing? Natalie from DFW area, real estate broker. And I wanted to know, there was someone that was on the call that's from Cabo, that's in Cabo. And I was trying to see if I could get their contact information.
That was
So
Iverson.
that's perfect. So let me just say, because I did forget to say this earlier in the call, drop your contact information in the chat. And at the end of the call, I'll leave it open long enough for anyone to to download the chat, and our new chat master, Jocelyn, is here. If you type the word chat and add your email address, she will actually email you the chat so that you can have it. Those people who are on their phones, unless something has changed in Zoom, I think you cannot download it. So she
Gotcha.
will actually do that for you. So thank you
Okay.
for asking that, Natalie. All right,
Okay, thank
we
you
are
so
going to
much.
go into breakout rooms. We have 12 minutes left. We've got a 10-minute breakout room. I'm opening them right now. And you know what? I would love to know in the breakout rooms, have you gotten a referral either from the Facebook group or from Referral Mate? So tell us about any referrals you've gotten or you've given in either of those two places. So here we go. They are open. Go to your rooms.